an in-depth overview of its origins, beliefs, and teachings. 1. Introduction to Buddhism. Buddhism is one of the world's oldest and most influential spiritual traditions. With more than 500 million followers globally, it has shaped the cultures, ethics, and philosophies of many nations, especially across Asia. Unlike many religions that focus on worship of a god or gods, Buddhism is often seen as a path of practice and spiritual development, leading to insight into the true nature of life. At its core, Buddhism teaches that life is filled with suffering, but offers a path toward liberation through ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom. While it is often referred to as a religion, many also see Buddhism as a philosophy, a way of life, or a method of inner cultivation. 2. The life of the Buddha. Buddhism began with Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, the Awakened One, who lived in the 5th to 6th century BCE in what is now Nepal and northern India. Siddhartha was born into a royal family. His father, hoping to shield him from the harsh realities of life, kept him confined within the palace walls, surrounded by luxury and pleasure. However, as a young man, Siddhartha ventured beyond the palace and encountered what are called the four sights: an old man, a sick person, a corpse, and a wandering ascetic. These sights deeply troubled him and awakened in him a desire to find a way to overcome the suffering that seemed inherent in human life. At the age of 29, Siddhartha left behind his royal life, his wife, and his newborn son in search of truth. For 6 years, he practiced severe asceticism, nearly starving himself in his quest for enlightenment. Eventually, realizing that extreme self-denial was not the path to liberation, he adopted the middle way, a balanced approach between self-indulgence and self-mortification. Siddhartha meditated under a Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, where after deep contemplation he attained enlightenment, the profound realization of the nature of reality and the cessation of suffering. From that moment, he became the Buddha and spent the next 45 years teaching others the path to liberation. 3. The core teachings of Buddhism. 3.1. The Four Noble Truths. At the heart of Buddhism are the Four Noble Truths, discovered by the Buddha during his enlightenment. These truths diagnose the human condition and provide a path toward freedom. The noble truth of suffering, dukkha. Life contains suffering, physical pain, emotional distress, dissatisfaction, aging, illness, and death. Even pleasurable experiences are temporary and can lead to suffering when they end. The noble truth of the cause of suffering, samudaya. Suffering arises from craving or attachment and ignorance. We cling to pleasures, desire existence, and fear loss. This craving keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction. The noble truth of the cessation of suffering, nirvana. It is possible to end suffering by letting go of craving and attachment. This cessation is called nirvana, a state of ultimate peace and liberation. The noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, magga. The Buddha taught the Noble Eightfold Path as the way to overcome suffering and attain nirvana. 3.2. The Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path outlines the ethical and mental disciplines needed to free oneself from suffering. It is usually grouped into 3 categories: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Right view, understanding reality and the Four Noble Truths. Right intention, cultivating thoughts of renunciation, goodwill, and harmlessness. Right speech, speaking truthfully, kindly, and helpfully. Right action, acting ethically, avoiding harm to others. Right livelihood, earning a living in a way that does not cause harm. Right effort, diligently cultivating positive states of mind and abandoning negative ones. Right mindfulness, maintaining awareness of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. Right concentration, developing deep states of meditative absorption, samadhi. 4. Key concepts in Buddhism. 4.1. Karma. Karma refers to the law of moral causation. Our intentional actions, whether by body, speech, or mind, create results that affect our future experiences. Good deeds result in beneficial outcomes, while harmful actions lead to suffering. Unlike in some other traditions, karma in Buddhism is not fate. It's an ongoing process that individuals can influence through mindful choices. 4.2. Samsara. Samsara is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that all beings are subject to until they achieve enlightenment. Driven by ignorance and craving, beings are reborn in different realms: human, animal, heavenly, or hellish, depending on their karma. 4.3. Nirvana. Nirvana is the ultimate goal of Buddhist practice. It is the end of the cycle of samsara and the extinction of craving, hatred, and delusion. In this liberated state, one experiences unshakable peace and freedom from suffering. 4.4. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. These are the three characteristics of existence. Anicca, impermanence. All conditioned things are transient and subject to change. Dukkha, suffering. Life is inherently unsatisfactory. Anatta, non-self. There is no unchanging, permanent self or soul. 5. The major schools of Buddhism. Over centuries, Buddhism developed into different schools with distinct practices and philosophies. The major traditions include 5.1. Theravada Buddhism. Also known as the teaching of the elders, Theravada is the oldest surviving form of Buddhism. It focuses on the Pali Canon, Tipitaka, and emphasizes personal liberation through meditation and strict adherence to the Buddha's original teachings. It is predominant in countries like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos. 5.2. Mahayana Buddhism. Meaning Great Vehicle, Mahayana Buddhism arose around the 1st century CE. It expands the goal of practice beyond personal enlightenment, encouraging practitioners to become bodhisattvas, beings who strive to attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. Mahayana Buddhism spread through China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and beyond. 5.3. Vajrayana Buddhism. Vajrayana, or the diamond vehicle, is a form of Buddhism that incorporates esoteric rituals, mantras, and visualization practices. It developed out of Mahayana and is most commonly associated with Tibetan Buddhism. 6. Buddhist ethics and daily practice. Buddhism encourages moral living as the foundation for spiritual progress. The basic ethical guidelines are the 5 precepts, which lay Buddhists undertake: to abstain from killing living beings, to abstain from stealing, to abstain from sexual misconduct, to abstain from false speech, to abstain from intoxicants that cloud the mind. Monastics follow additional precepts designed to support their renunciant lifestyle. Daily practice may include meditation, bhavana, developing mindfulness, concentration, and insight, chanting and prayer, recitation of sutras or mantras, dana, generosity, giving, and acts of kindness, observing uposatha, Buddhist observance days, taking additional precepts, and spending time in deeper reflection. 7. Buddhist cosmology. Buddhism describes a vast cosmos filled with multiple realms of existence. These realms include heavenly realms, inhabited by gods and demigods; human realm, considered most conducive for attaining enlightenment; animal realm; ghost realm, hungry ghosts, beings consumed by craving; hell realms, places of intense suffering. These are not permanent places, but states conditioned by karma. 8. Buddhism today. Buddhism has continued to evolve as it has spread across the globe. In the West, Buddhism is often associated with meditation, mindfulness, and a secular approach to spirituality. In Asia, Buddhism remains deeply integrated into daily life, festivals, and social customs. Modern challenges and opportunities for Buddhism include engaging with science and psychology, addressing social justice, environmental concerns, and peace building, adapting traditional practices for contemporary lifestyles. 9. Conclusion: the universal appeal of Buddhism. At its heart, Buddhism offers a universal message that suffering exists, but there is a path to its end. Its practices, mindfulness, compassion, ethical living, are relevant to all who seek a deeper understanding of themselves and the world. Whether one identifies as a Buddhist or simply draws inspiration from its teachings, Buddhism provides timeless tools for cultivating peace, wisdom, and compassion.